Okay, so hello everyone. The first series and first edition of CEEGEX podcast is basically today we're going to talk about the yearly market analysis on 25th of January. And let's look back to the last year and the main events. Texas outage, well, it's pretty far away, not 2020.
Yeah, not 2020, it was in this year and it was hard, but if we take a look on the price effects, it was not so important in this year. But if we took a look on the second one, the Suez Canal blockage, yeah, LNG support is very important. But after this year, we can say that not the rules, but the price spreads between JKM and TTF is so important.
Yeah, so pretty much just a small event on the timeline and served as a meme content, but really small spikes compared to the ones in October and December. But there were serious topics. For example, everyone awaited about the climate law.
Yeah, but small price effects again on this summer. But in the start of September and continued, and it continued in the winter. This price changes, this price spikes was very tough.
Yeah, and well, basically in the fall it was just pretty crazy. Let's talk about it with the chart because yeah, all the markets, not just TTF, not just VTP, but also CEEGEX and the whole Europe and globe was really crazy. But let's talk about more focused, which drove the prices in the region and which were the most important factors for gas markets.
Yeah, we started this year with a new LNG announcement in Croatia, and regarding Hungarian market is very important because we have, like Hungarian, we have not a direct but an indirect connection with the LNG market. So we and the Hungarian market participant can take part on the global market, global gas or LNG market.
Yeah, and at the same time, everyone awaited for Nord Stream 2. What happened there?
Nothing, or nothing important, nothing only infrastructure related, because this pipeline is now completed regarding infrastructure, but no gas flows or only technical gas flows.
Yeah, both streams are filled.
Yeah.
Yeah, and exactly. And well, for me, it seems just Nord Stream 2 is just getting into more and more into the year and just driving up the prices, giving bullish and bullish signals, but nothing in terms of market development. So let's see what this year will bring. But for last year, it only impacted bullishly the prices on overall level. But the LNG is a key factor, I think, in the region. It pretty much drove not just the regional supply, but also the spreads. Let's take a look at on this chart.
Yeah, on this chart, on the first part, we can see that these three markets, or these the prices of these three markets was nearly closed, and the spreads changed if we took back to 2020. But in the second part, we can saw several spikes, spreads changes, and yeah, this October and winter was very, very hard for the market participants.
Yeah, exactly. But still on yearly level, at least for the last gas year, it was a pretty new thing that now we talked about the flip of the spreads during the year. And basically, it then changed back in October and then again to discount in November. What were the main effects in this new situation in the region?
There were several effects. It's very hard to find all these effects, but we can say that we have some correlation with the gas routes regarding Europe. I mean, the Nord Stream 1, the Yama, the Ukraine route. I think this was one of the most important factor. And again, or not again, firstly, connected with Hungary, the Balkan route, I mean, from Russia to Hungary.
Yeah, before talking about the routes and gas flows, let's just take a look at CEEGEX volumes. Well, I think it was a pretty nice year from CEEGEX, and I remember 2 years ago at the workshop, CEEGEX workshop, where we interviewed market participants, and they said CEEGEX is around 20, 30 terawatt hours, but definitely not more than 30 terawatt hour. Last year, we reached again this 30 terawatt hour. Luckily, how do you evaluate this year?
Luckily, yeah, we can see that this 30 terawatt hour target was unreachable if we were in August or in September. But after October, November, December was very, very liquid, I can say, month in case of CEEGEX. So, and December was a record high traded on December were record high traded volumes on CEEGEX in this year. So yeah, this market behavior or market events in these 3 months was generated liquidity on CEEGEX market.
Yeah, I think we can draw the conclusion that with the increased risk of counterparty risk, basically just more and more market participants started to favor exchange-based trading. This is not just a situation in Hungary, but generally in Europe. And well, if you take a look in the next chart in the regional supply situation, now it's an inverse picture.
Yeah, I mentioned one factor of this change in October. This was the new Serbian interconnector regarding Hungary. But the other change was the long-term contract in case of Hungary, of course, between Hungary and Russia. And this contract announced 2 main routes, two main gas supply routes of Hungary, and there are the Austrian interconnector and the Serbian interconnector, and not the past main gas supply route, the Ukraine interconnector. So if you take a look on the right side, this Ukrainian interconnector allocation was fall down, and the Serbian interconnector has a significant allocation towards Hungary.
Yeah, it's pretty new actually to see, and pretty nice to see developments, well, finishing and starting. And it was pretty similar, for example, when the Slovakian-Hungarian rule started a few years back, and before that, no gas flows for many, many years. And now, basically, for Hungary, the only missing element is the interconnector between Slovenia. But now we can see massive bidirectional flows between almost every direction. Also, last year we could have observed reverse flows towards Austria.
Towards Slovakia.
Yeah, for example, towards Slovakia. Yeah. So, well, not just the discounts and the premium split, but pretty much the flows. And of course, this is in strong correlation. And I think this Serbian route, together with the Croatian LNG, just the 2 most important factors here in the region. Before this, for many, many years, it's been, okay, market is liberalized, but still in Hungary, business as usual. And now the situation is completely changed.
Yeah, business as usual, as we are going to find new gas supply from Ukraine or from Austria, but now from Serbia, from Croatia, and some spread-related gas flows on the Romanian border as well.
Yeah, so a new event that, basically bidirectional flows occurred on the interconnector between Hungary and Croatia. And also at the same time, if you consider the LNG flows, well, it's a pretty nice correlation actually, and pretty nice that so many LNG cargoes actually arrived here, which really diversified the supply in the region.
Yeah, so this year started very hard for the LNG supply because not so many LNG cargoes arrived in Croatia, but the second half of the year was very good regarding this topic. But as we can observe on this diagram, the Croatian market supplied through LNG, not the Hungarian market. So this connection or correlation is negative. So the Hungarian supply towards Croatia depends on the LNG cargoes.
Yeah, and now it's not just a relation between Hungary and Croatia, but now talking about in 2022, now we have firm capacities towards Ukraine, and actually this is a pilot phase, but still Ukraine is now talking about procuring LNG. So, well, it's pretty interesting to looking forward to the next year, and also thank you for talking through this podcast about the changes and main developments of last year. And thank you everyone for listening to this podcast.
Thank you everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.